Tanzania expedition and we're reporting to you from the summit of Lengai.
We're here in Tanzania to study the unique carbonatite lavas of this volcano and the interaction between volcanology, tectonics and the impact on the local communities in the area of the volcano. Here's our story. In June 2015, a team of us from the Earth Sciences Department travelled to Tanzania for 3 weeks to put into practice what we'd learned in our course. But our story didn't start in Tanzania. It started 9 months earlier in the Gregory building at the University of Glasgow. After finalising the team of 13 students and 2 lecturers, we began the mammoth process of pulling the logistics of the trip together. Our plan was to make it to the village of Ngarisero in the Lake Natron Basin, far in the northwest of Tanzania. However, before we could think about any of this, we faced serious funding challenges.
So definitely the biggest challenges that we face is time and money. So we've only got 8 weeks now until the expedition leaves, and we still don't have that money, and we're against the clock now.
It's such a big challenge faced to get the right money in time. I really don't know if we'll get it, and if not, then there's a huge question mark placed over if this expedition can actually go ahead.
Although money and time is against us, we've got a lot of personality within the team going for us. So in that sense, we are in a positive position.
We are here with the Tanzania team. We're at Glen Sheet, and today we are climbing 9 Munros to fundraise for our expedition this summer.
As summer crept closer, the money we needed started to come in. Finally, we could look forward to the research we'd set out to accomplish from the start.
We're going to catalogue eruption history that we can help to improve risk mitigation strategies in the area.
Improved understanding of the volcano will benefit the local Maasai people.
And by the start of June, everything was set, and all that was left to do was to pack and to get ourselves to the airport.
Prepare for landing.
So we've just arrived in Dar es Salaam after leaving Glasgow yesterday morning. So we left Dodoma this morning and we're now halfway to Ngarisero, where we'll set up our base camp near Lengai.
So, here we are in Ngarisero village. Lovely little village here. You can see out over the savannah and onto the mountains out there. To my right we have Lake Natron down there, and Old Lengai itself is just to the left there.
After we got settled into camp, we met the group of African geologists and the support team who would be joining us on our expedition and started to plan our fieldwork.
And we're here to study the carbonatite lava because it's so different from any other lava that erupts in the world. It's about half the temperature of your typical basaltic lavas. Another aspect that we're really interested in here is the fact that between the 2 plates that are pulling apart, we've got a smaller plate which is rotating. As a result, there's a lot of interesting faulting that we can measure and look into. And hopefully this will show to us how the volcanics and the tectonics in this region are interacting.
So fieldwork began, and our first objective was to look at the past volcanic activity in the area to build up a history of previous eruptions. So what we can see here are huge layers of ash deposited both from eruptions from the main vent of the volcano, but also from smaller eruptions from the side vents. So to measure this and to kind of see the story that these tell, we do something called logging, which is when we draw the layers, each layer of rock. And looking at these layers in turn shows us the eruption history of the volcano and will show us how the volcanic eruptions have changed over time.
Okay, so behind us here and to the side on the crags you can see a dark rock, and that rock is a lava deposit from a volcano which used to be in this crater that we're standing in right now. And then on top of the lava there's kind of a light grey layer, and that is a rock called tuff. And tuff is deposited from ash flows from a volcano. So we know that the volcano first deposited this lava, and then on top of this there was a deposit of ash.
So from taking simple observations and measurements of the landscape, we were able to make detailed assumptions about the type of volcanic activity that was acting in the area for thousands of years before we got there.
So in summary for the volcanology, we have clear evidence of the dominance of explosive eruptions from the crater. It began with this vent clearing phase and the deposition of coarse breccias, a lot of moisture in the atmosphere and also depositing lots of wet ash. So it's not just a simple explosive blowout crater, it's a very, very dynamic volcanological environment.
After discovering what had happened on the surface of the Earth with volcanic eruptions, we wanted to learn more about what was going on beneath it. To do this, we looked into the activity of the tectonic plates in the area, which incidentally have a particular relevance to the University of Glasgow.
This particular area lies on a rift called the Gregory Rift, and the Gregory Rift is named after John Walter Gregory, and he was actually the chair in geology at this university for 25 years. So there's a kind of like link between where we are going and link into the heritage of the university as well. So it kind of feels like we're kind of maybe following in the footsteps a bit of a really kind of high profile geologist of his time.
We are currently walking through very extremely long grass to get to these trees which we're nearly at, so we can look at the faults.
We were searching for faults because we hoped they would tell us exactly how the volcanic eruptions interacted with plate tectonics. So we've got to where we think the fault is, and we can't see any exposures as such, but we think it is running below where we're standing now.
Okay, so there's two sections of the fault, and we think that this line of trees here is the second section, but right now we're standing in the gap between the two.
We eventually found what we were looking for. As we followed the line of trees, we were led to a gaping hole 8 meters deep. We could assume that this was a fault, as it followed the same direction and matched readings we had taken over a kilometre away. In the Oldonyo-Lengai area, volcanology and tectonics are so closely linked, you cannot look at one on its own. The faults in this region cut through beds of lava, offsetting them by up to 80 metres. It is clear from this that the area is undergoing continuous tectonic movement and volcanic eruptions, and this landscape is in a constant state of transformation. So it's clear that volcanoes have a huge impact on the landscape around the Lake Natron Basin. But we want to look at how this impacts the local people who live in this area as well. Over the time we've been here, we've spoken to several groups of locals and tourists to see how they perceive the threat of the volcano and how they adapt to it. When speaking to people, the first thing they talk about is the impact of the ash falling in the area. With each eruption, there are huge plumes of ash that go up into the air and fall onto the surrounding landscape. We spoke to our Maasai guide Timoth, who told us about his experience of the last Oldonyo-Lengai eruption and also the impact falling ash had on the local area.
People, they take a time to sleep outside as normal, as they know that inside of the houses are very hot. And then around 2:30 the eruption appear, and people, they heard that there are some things like rain which is falling from the sky. And after that, the people wake up and see that, oh, this is not rain, and try to escape it to enter the houses. So it makes people to not going out outside of the houses, and not able to move to take their cattle out for grazing time. 2 weeks, we had rain. Where is clean, all grass and the whole landscape, and then our cattle, they succeed to get grassing again.
We also spoke to our tour operator Edward, who told us of a much more positive impact the volcano had on the area.
Oldonyo-Lengai, which is a very active volcanic mountains, it has a very big impact and very positive benefit to the village, because a lot of the youth people, they get an employment for acting as a guide for Oldonyo-Lengai, which help the people to track the Oldonyo-Lengai, and they gain something back to them like money. It has increased the growth of the village by making it economically stable.
From speaking to just a few people who live and work in Engaricero, it became clear that there is a range of positive and negative impacts of the volcano. There is currently conflict in the area. Locals say that the government are trying to make the Maasai people leave their homes so that the Lake Natron Basin can be turned into a conservation area. To do this, the government say that it is too dangerous to live near the active volcano. Therefore, the more we can understand about the interactions between locals and the geology, the better the local people's views can be supported. So far on the trip, we've looked at the physical and human impacts of the Aldonho Langai volcano, but to fully understand it, we're going to have to climb it. With a height of just under 3,000 meters, and with slopes as steep as 50 degrees, Aldonho Langai sure promised to be a challenging climb. To safely get to the summit and avoid climbing in the heat of the day, we left camp at 9 PM. Our plan was to climb all night and reach the top in the morning.
Okay, it is 9:10 and there's about 50 people on the bus, so we're all going to climb Aldonho Langai.
We're at the bottom of the volcano right now. We're about to descend up it. Spirits are high.
So far the climb has been really good. I think spirits are so positive. We just found out we are halfway, which maybe disappointed some people actually, but we only have 2.5 hours to go.
We've just summited Aldonho Langai. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and we left to climb here at 9 o'clock last night.
Whilst on the summit, we were also lucky enough to see a rare eruption of carbonatite rock.
The expedition has to be getting to the top of Aldonho Langai and seeing into that crater, looking out over the whole Lake Natron Valley and thinking to yourself that view, this moment is what the last 6-7 months of your life have been building up to.
That's our last day in Tanzania now. We're all ready to head to the airport. It's been good fun, but ready to go home.
I would like to say thank you for the University of Glasgow for arranging the expedition in Tanzania. Go back to Scotland, share the knowledge you have with the other Scottish people.
Besides geology, I learned a lot about the local culture, and that's probably what I'm mostly going to take home with me. So I'm about to cut the meat. I'm really excited. It's a lot of responsibility.
And the really good part was that everybody made it in the end. Everybody's happy, so that's fantastic.
Just hearing almost all of the team say that the final 2 days that we had was up there in their top 10 days of life ever.